In this episode, we are going to paint the fox. Now, the fox pops up quite a bit in, well, people's back gardens if you live in urban areas, or even in the countryside, I'm sure, but it pops up quite a bit in mythology, certainly in Irish Celtic mythology. Now, it's believed that the fox was brought to Ireland by the Norse, and the Druids certainly revered the fox. So the fox, really cunning, really cute, very fast, and really wonderful animal. So we're going to paint the fox in this episode. Brilliant. So I'm going to let all of that dry itself, and I want to come back to this nose because the nose still needs a bit of work. It hasn't really had enough work on it. So for the nose, what I want to do is, it's titanium white, a little bit of black, and I just want to highlight the parts of the nose that the light will be hitting off. So these kind of parts here, I can come over with the wash later as well, but I just really want to highlight where this is going to be. Okay. Now, okay. I did the same on the swan earlier with the swan's kind of beak and bill. So the same thing, we're just going to outline where we want the highlight to be. Quite like that. Now we're going to darken it up in a few minutes, but not right now. What I want to do now is I want to grab some umber, and I want to come in back into this eye, and I just want to bring the umber down here. So it's like the shadow up in this eye. The same here. And the same on the far side. Bring it over. Okay. Okay, super. So this is what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to grab some yellow ochre, titanium white, and now I'm going to come into the eye again. I'm going to just give it some brightness, like here, as you can see. Same on the other side. You kind of tell the paint what you want it to do, pretty much, or the brush. And this brush is really brilliant as well for this. There we go. So the eye is definitely popping out there. Now, I'm going to grab some more titanium white, and what I'm going to do is just put little dots there. Tiny little dots. So the eye pops. Now, not finished with the eye yet. We're going to come back. I'm going to put the same on the nose here as well. Now, okay. We're getting to the end of this now, and we're not terribly far away from the end. You could go, like I said with all of the other ones, you could go and go and go and go and go, and you'd be going forever. But before we get to the end, I want to get some umber, which is now on this number 10 brush, and I want to bring it in here. So get the umber and just bring it in. Now I've already applied umber here, and I've applied black, and I've applied sienna, and now more umber. And it's just giving a nice bit of depth here to the tone of it. And I'm really happy with that. Now I want to bring it up here as well, because the connection up here was lost when I started lightening up the color. So I liked it, but I wasn't 100% happy with it. I knew I wanted to work on it. So there we go. I'm just bringing umber kind of around different sections of this and down into here. Same around here. Okay. I'm going to bring some in here. Now there's very little umber on this brush as I'm dry brushing technique into this. So you're not overloading with umber. It's really just for a bit of tone. And I'm going to bring some more up onto the muzzle here and around the kind of nose area. Now be careful not to go over the nose if you've just put white on it, because you don't want to drag some white with you. Certainly we're getting to the end. I'll put the same here. I'm going to do the same here. Okay. Awesome. Now I'm going to pop it up for perspective. It's looking good. It's definitely looking the way I want it to look. I'm going to grab the flathead brush that I have. I'm going to wet it. I need some titanium white for this. probably 50-50, and this is going to be a bit of a wash. So I'm going to drag it down here. This brush still has some of the ochre on it, which I didn't want, but you know what? I'm not going to give out too much because it actually works, but it's not what I want. So I'm going to make sure that I don't do that again. And I'm going to use that for the kind of cheek area. It's almost like just dragging it across. Nice wash. There we go. I'm going to come back into this in a few minutes with more definition as well. But for the moment, I just want a nice white pale wash. Same on this side. Nice strong brush strokes here. Strong but gentle. Okay. Okay, there we go. Over here as well. Perfect. Now I'm going to do the same up here with this brush. Just kind of come up and into, because it is giving me a lot of nice coverage. And the same over the far side. So, okay, just come up into that. I'm going to dab this off. I want to get a good bit of that wash, that is the wash that came down here. So the ochre and the white. And I just want to bring it up into here, because I do like how it kind of came out. So there we go. Again, this is all about just building it up gradually, step by step. Building it up. A little bit more of that. And now coming up to the very end of this, what I'm going to do is, he looks very cute. What I'm going to do now is just go back in with my smaller brush, which is here, and I'm going to draw in more. I'm going to draw in some more hair. So I'm going to get some white, titanium white. I'm going to, there is a bit of a mix in this. It's not just straight up titanium white. There happens to be some ochre in it too, which I don't mind. I'm actually happy with. And now I'm just going to draw. I'm just going to draw in hair, and it's going to be here. It's going to be there. It's going to be curling up. It's going to be coming this way. This is going to, because it's quite a wash, it's going to dry in. It's not going to dry, it'll dry lighter than it is, or less obvious than it is. And I just want to do this. I just want to draw nice highlighted hair all around, all of the places that I feel would benefit from a bit of a highlight. So they could be just the hair being caught in the sunlight, and there we go. So we're going to do that. It'll take a few minutes to do. Again, you can pause me, or you can listen to me talking as I'm doing it. And I'm actually talking more on this than I did on the other ones. Because I'm not used to talking when I'm painting. I'm used to singing. I'm not going to start singing now because my voice is a bit gone. But I'm not really used to talking. I'm doing the same around here. Okay. I hope everyone's doing well, by the way. It has been a very challenging period for us all, so I do hope you're keeping well, of course. And what I love about creativity, if it's something that you're not sure about getting into, it's so amazing for allowing us to express our feelings. If we can do it through the creative process. And again, it doesn't have to be painting. It can be poetry. It can be writing a play. It can be just writing a book even. Whatever it is to you. So I'm going to bring this down here. Now I'm going to do a little bit of this down around the nose, a little bit of highlight around here and down into the nose, and then I'm going to just draw like hair that's coming out from the muzzle area down onto the nose. So that would be here typically. Okay. Now this is much wider now. There's much more titanium white on this than there is the yellow, but it is giving me exactly what I'm looking for. Same over this section. There we go. Okay. And then down here. I'm going to grab maybe a little bit more titanium white. Yes, I am. Onto this. Just for this section, because I want it to be much more highlighted. And I'm just going to draw in the hairs that I want here. The same here. And you can probably hear my tummy rumbling. I haven't had my breakfast. I don't really eat breakfast. But I really wanted to get this done. I was so excited about it. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is do this exact same up here. Now it's not wet enough for me, so I'm just going to wet my paintbrush again and just have it, yeah, makes lovely marks. Okay, see? Yeah. Okay. Really nice marks that are coming out here and down. Okay. I'm going to continue on doing this. Feel free to pause it at this section. I'm just going to draw around it, and then we're pretty much going to finish the eyes, the nose, and then we are good to go. So there we go. Okay. Okay, so what I want to do now is just grab this white. Now there's still quite a bit of white, but I've taken a lot of it off the paintbrush. These are dry, but I want to draw in like a sheen here onto the eye, like this. Just there, exactly like that. And now what I want to do is grab the 000 brush, actually, that we haven't used yet, that we're going to use now a little bit. That I'm going to grab that. I'm going to just make sure the black is flowy enough for me. And what I want to do is just come into this nostril and just darken it. Just there. Now, I just want the paint on the tip of this brush. Now it is very fine, such a fine brush, but I don't want it on the sides, because it can, if I'm angling the angle that I'm going at, it can offload some of the paint, and I don't want that to happen. I want it to stay on the bristles and go where I want it to go. Now what I'm going to do is just draw in an outline here and here. And this is really delicate work, but it's really nice. It's really effective. Okay, so there we go. This brush is super, but it does need your care because it's so delicate. There's only a few bristles on it. So that's that and there. Now I want to use it again. I want to come up here with it to the eye. I just want to draw around the eye like that, because we have brought the eye up and down. I know we put black on it earlier, but we brought it up, we brought it down, we had umber on it, we had grey on it, we had lots of different things. So I just want to go back in with just Mars Black. Now it's a thin, almost wash of Mars Black, but I just want to put some more definition into this kind of zone. Okay. Now, the same over here. Just going to come down into it. Okay. And over this part. Now, definitely getting towards the end. Just before we do, I want to get my filbert number 10 as we're approaching the end, and I want to grab some titanium white, and I really want to bring it down here, because I'm going to give some whiskers to this fox in a moment, and I want to make sure that I have the white of the chest done as much as I want it done. Yeah, okay. Get rid of that. A little bit more over this way. Actually, I'm going to bring this up a bit more because there's a bit, yeah, just a bit more movement in that. And then down here. So a bit more titanium white. This is not a wash we're using. This is just Nice brush strokes of kind of thick titanium white coming down into it. Yeah, and the same over here. We're just making it very clear that it's white. Okay. Same here and here and here. And now what I want to do is I want to keep this titanium white. I want to bring it back up to the ears. And I just want to do it the same that I did on the ears, just at this section where we get into the black. Same on this side. Okay. I'm going to get a wash of it as well. Titanium white, pretty much straight up. And I just want to bring it in here, nice and gently, not too overpowering. I just want to give a bit more definition. Same here. Same here. Okay, and maybe here. Okay, brilliant. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my other brush, this one, and I'm going to get some sienna. I'm going to come in at that eye, or those eyes. I'm just going to bring it around here, and the same on the far side. Now I'm going to strip the sienna off this, and I'm just going to blend it in nice and gently, not too much. Okay, there we go. There we are. Bring it out here. Okay, we're definitely winning. I'm going to pop that in there for a second. I want to get my filbert back, dry it off, and I want to get some burnt umber. And this is going to be a wash of burnt umber. So bear with me, we're getting to the end. So we're going to wash just here and here. Now we did a wash of sienna here earlier. We're going to get the wash of umber. I just want it here, and I just want it here, maybe here as well. There we go. There we are. Nice and gentle. We're not overdoing it. Just getting a nice little wash. Same down here. Okay. Let's see. Now, what I'm going to do is just get some sienna, pop it in there, wash of that, and I'm just going to bring this here. Just here. And just here. And maybe here. Okay, love, okay, and up into here. Now what I'm going to do now is, because we could be painting forever, honestly, these things, you can, how long is a piece of string? And certainly if you're loving the process, but I don't want you to have to, you know, just take your time with it, and it might take a bit of time, but YouTube may only allow me pop-up short videos, I don't know. So I'm just going to get a wash of black and bring it down here. Okay. I'm going to use this black wash around here, tiny little bit, like tiny bit. Be very controlled in your strokes here. I'm going to come up and do it up here as well. Okay. Yeah. Now, finally, just to finish it off, I'm going to get the wash of white with a bit of ochre, make it really fluid. I'm using this brush again, and I'm just, again, I'm going to go and I'm just going to draw in where I want some highlight lines to go. Now, that brush might be a bit wet, but it's going to dry nicely. I just want to make sure that I have all of my lines. Okay. And this will take a few minutes. It's just popping in here, not straight exactly, just kind of with a bit of a flow to kind of give an idea that the fox is really real. Okay. As you can see, it's nice, and there's a bit of a process to it. It can take a bit of time, but it's absolutely worth it. It's like the finishing pieces. you gotta pop them down. There we go. See? So it's this kind of thing. Just moving it in really nicely. Same down here. All the way out. I want to kind of come in here as well with it. And here. Actually, I like this color. I'm going to put a bit of it on the eye. Okay. And I'm going to come over here and just do a little bit of movement here as well. Hello, Mr. Fox. How are you doing today? He's nearly done. He's nearly done. Okay. If you watch any of my other videos, this is usually around the point that I say, Stephen, stop. You gotta stop. Because you could honestly go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Amen. But I just want to do this and this and this. Oh, yes. Yeah. Almost done, Mr. Fox. Okay. Finally, because I think we're getting to a point, 2 things left to do. I think. Maybe more. Okay, we'll go with 2. Let's see how 2 goes. I can't help myself. I love it so. I love painting. Okay, I'm just going to bring some, with my filbert, a little bit more white in here and here, and get some more titanium white because that had a bit of gray on it. I want that here and here and here and here. And we're just kind of going around it a little bit more white, and here, and maybe up here, and here. And here. And finally, I'm going to blow dry it. And this is a delicate part of the process. And when I was doing dogs, sometimes it worked perfectly and sometimes it didn't. And I'm going to make sure that I have the right flow of this Mars Black. I'm going to angle this here and I'm going to ask you to say a little prayer, because there's blue coming off. See, that can happen. I have to get rid of that. I'm just going to draw some whiskers. If you don't want to draw whiskers, don't worry. Your fox does not need whiskers. It can be a bit of a process to get them right. These ones are going okay. Do the same over here. And it's really just trial and error for this. Sometimes they go down really nicely, sometimes they don't. These ones are going absolutely perfectly for me. I'm just going to spend a couple of moments just very gently adding them. Now you can hear me go a bit quiet because I'm very concentrated on making sure the whiskers work. Okay, and it's really fine That might be too much water, so it's really just about knowing. Now that's a bit thick. See, that can happen as well. Now, and I'm just going to blend them in here because they do come from the muzzle part. I'm happy. I could do more, but I don't want to, because if I do mess them up, I'm gonna have to go back into the white, and that is, and actually now I'm getting a bit of green coming out there, it's fine. Okay. So what I'm going to do just to finish off, because I put a bit of blue there, came from my hand, I'm just going to grab some titanium white. I'm just going to go over it. There we go. Okay. There we are. Super. And now I think we are, let me just see. We are, Stephen, stop. Just a little bit more. I know. Almost finished, Mr. Fox. There we go. Okay, put him away. I would be on him for the rest of the evening. I love this process. You can continue on if you like. I'm going to stop because he is done. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that process. Actually, just before we go, see, I can't actually help myself. I'm just going to a little bit and bring it here. There we are. And here. Super. Okay. Now, Mr. Fox, you're well done. I really hope you enjoyed that. Well done if you got all the way to the end. What I'd love is if you could let me know, post me pictures of your pictures if possible. Not post, obviously snail mail. Email them to me or link them in on Instagram or something. But this is Mr. Fox, and inspired by the animals of Celtic mythology. And again, thank you to you guys for tuning in and watching. And thank you to the Irish Arts Council for supporting this project. Have a great day, guys.